Hi guys, myself Ritik Sihag, and I'm a member of Group 3. And we allotted us chapter 6 from our textbook, which is about the understanding privilege through ableism. And we are total 5 group members. And in Ritik, it's me, and Aryan, Harsh, Sukhdeep Singh, and Jasprit Kaur. And this is the overview of our presentation, including the first slide of article summary, second what is privilege, and external dimension, group based norms in structural society, and internal dimensions, misconceptions about privilege, and the second last is conclusion, and the last one is the references of this slide. And this is the article that we chose from the US News, and it's about the racism effects are harming the hearts of Black Americans. But before that, I would like to go and I would like to initialize the presentation with my topic, which is what is privilege. And basically, privilege means having some luck factors or having some advantages in our life that we can that easily succeed at, or that we have some power in our life. But in this chapter, that doesn't mean the same, but rather on the advantage that certain individual enjoy over other. Member of the dominant category benefits from social and political benefits due to their position in power. Privilege cannot be considered as luck or something natural, but it's social built in by people in power. People at the bottom of the society are culturally weak. This statement shows that how different people have different perspective on the word privilege, and these perspectives are also known as culture defect theory. So now I would like to go to the first slide, which is about the article that we chose from the US News, and it's racism effects are harming the hearts of Black Americans. And a news study finds that chronic stress from racism and impoverished neighborhood conditions influence that disparity. This impact on heart health from these stressors did vary by gender, with black women affected more by discrimination, and the black men affected more by neighborhood safety. Our goal was to understand what type of factors contribute to this stresses experience of black people. If we can identify certain stressors to target in our mitigation strategies, we can hopefully improve cardiovascular health outcomes and reduce disparity in heart diseases. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call my friend Aryan so he can begin with his topic.
And today I will talk about external and structural dimensions of privilege. Firstly, I will talk about the news article from the US News, which shows that heart disease is the leading cause of deaths in the United States of America, and the black individuals are more likely to develop risk factors for heart diseases such as obesity, high blood pressure, and high stress level in the earlier ages. And the research by the experts also shows that black individuals face a lot of racism during their life cycle, and they are not treated equally in the society, and so they develop a sort of fear in them that they are not equal and they are not capable among others, so they develop a high stress level which cause them to have these outcomes like heart failures and heart diseases. And the and to understand this topic in a bit more clear, we'll consider topic of albinism, which is basically oppression of people with disabilities. There are a lot of examples, and firstly, I will talk about the example of a building which is considered accessible to all people, but they mostly have a single entrance leading to be problematic for people who can't access it comfortably or can't access top areas. In this topic, like there's a there's a choice for the people who are more dominant in the society and doesn't have any disability to have access to the building, but the people with some sort of disability or like they have any issue in their bodies, so they can't access this building. This make them inconvenient and they can't feel free as other people do. This causes the external and structural dimension through privilege, and in this such scenarios it would be integrating dominant groups norm into social frameworks, and the dominant group gets to decide what is normal and what is not normal. So the people without any disability are more likely to have privilege, and the people who have any disability cannot be on the level of the people or without any disability. So this is the external and structural dimensions of privilege. So thank you. That's all from my side. And my group mates will discuss furthermore about the privilege.
So my name is Urs. I am the member of team number 3, and here I am representing the group-based norms into the structure of society. So let's talk about our topic first. To study this research, we use data from the Regards project, a national study focused on better understanding and racial differences in strokes deaths. So they examined both surveys responses and health informations collected from more than 7,500 people, and then the research scored each person for certain health behavior: cigarette smoking, diet, physical activity, and body mass index. Scores also factored in blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose levels. So it's all about that. The participation reported how often they experienced racial discrimination, including at school, while receiving medical care from the police. So they were asked about whether they felt safe in their neighborhood, what the noise and traffic level was like, and whether there was adequate of grocery stores, parks, and playgrounds. So these things are happening right now. They are also happening with the black people in America, and they are experiencing most like racial things there in United States. So let's talk about my topic: group-based norms into the structures of society. Operation is a multifactored structure that functions continuously. This system creates undeserved rights and benefits for the dominant group regardless of individual intentions. Segregation between dominant and minority groups is a key component of operation. People with disabilities are often excluded from municipal development decisions that significantly impact their lives. Uh,
Hi everyone, my name is Sukhdeep Singh and I'm going to talk about the internal and educational dimensions of privilege. Firstly, I will talk about the internal dimensions. Basically, this dimensions refers to the in advantages or disadvantages of individuals possess based on their identity, such as on race or gender, like that, and it also include their economical status. Moreover, internal dimensions of privileges are often invisible to those who possess them, but can greatly influence opportunity and outcomes in their life, like that. And also, individuals with privileges may not actively seek or recognize their advantages as These are often normalized within society, as well as understanding internal dimensions of privilege also requires introspection and recognition of one's own positionality with their social structures. And if I talk about the educational dimensions, then I want to say this dimensions pattern to attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that individuals exhibit towards other based on their I would say perceived privilege or lack thereof. And it's also educational dimensions of privileges, prejudice, stereotypes, and discrimination that individuals may consequently or unconsciously hold, I would say. And moreover, these attitudes can manifest in various ways, such as microorganization, implications, stereotyping, and prejudicing. And educational dimensions are basically shaped by socialization, cultural norms, and power dynamics within society. So yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jashanpreet Kaur and I am the team member of Group 3. As my group members describe very well about the privilege, its norms and dimensions of privilege, and now I'm here to unpack some common misconceptions surrounding privilege. Privilege is a complex and often misunderstood concept that influences various aspects of our lives, from access to opportunities to how we navigate societal systems. Today, we will explore some prevalent misconceptions about privilege and shed light on why it's crucial to understand privilege accurately. By challenging these misconceptions, we can foster more meaningful conversations about equity and work towards building a more inclusive society. Let's begin by examining and debunking some of the most common misconceptions about privilege. Here are some common misconceptions that dominant groups often have about privilege. The first one is misconception of wealth. Many people mistakenly believe that privilege is solely about financial wealth or material possessions. While socioeconomic status can certainly confer advantages, privilege extends beyond economic factors to include societal advantages based on race, gender, sexual orientation, and other identities. Second misconception is about personal guilt or blame. There is a misconception that acknowledging privilege implies personal guilt or blame. This can lead to defensiveness or denial rather than constructive dialogue. However, recognizing privilege is about understanding systematic advantages and working towards equity and justice for all individuals. Hardship ignorance is the other misconception. Some individuals from privileged groups believe that they haven't faced hardships in their lives, overlooking the complexity of their experiences. Privilege doesn't mean a person hasn't encountered difficulties, but rather that certain aspects of their identity haven't been a source of systematic oppression or discrimination. The next misconception is about meritocracy myth. Many people subscribe to the idea of meritocracy, believing that success is solely based on individual talent and hard work. This ignores the systematic barriers that marginalized groups face, such as unequal access to education, employment opportunities, and resources. Privilege can often provide a head start in life, independent of personal merit. The fifth is equality versus equity misconception. There is a misconception that treating everyone equally is the same as promoting equity. However, equality fails to address the systematic disparities that exist among different groups. Equity recognizes that different groups may require different levels of support to achieve true fairness and justice. The sixth misconception is about color blindness. Some individuals believe that ignoring differences in race or other identities promotes equality. However, this colorblind approach overlooks the experiences of marginalized groups and fails to address systematic inequalities. It's essential to acknowledge and celebrate diversity while actively working to dismantle discriminatory systems. The seventh misconception is individualization of privilege. Privilege is often misunderstood as solely an individual characteristic rather than a structural advantage. While individuals may benefit from privilege, it's essential to recognize and address the broader societal systems and institutions that perpetuate inequality. Last but not least, misconception is severe complex. Individuals from privileged groups may sometimes adopt a savior mentality when engaging with marginalized communities, believing they have the solutions to address systematic issues. However, this approach can be paternalistic and overlook the expertise and agency of those directly affected by oppression. Addressing these misconceptions is essential for fostering understanding, empathy, and meaningful action towards creating a more equitable society. In conclusion, our examination of structural discrimination in housing, education, employment, and the criminal justice system highlights the persuasive nature of privilege and its impacts on limiting opportunities for Black individuals and communities. Historical injustices such as redining and discriminatory lending practices continue to reverberate, perpetuating cycles of poverty and poor health in Black communities. Moreover, an intersectionality of privilege intersects with other aspects of identity, exacerbating disparities for diverse groups of people. Through comprehensive intersectional approaches, we can begin to address these systematic barriers and strive towards a more equitable society where everyone has equal access to opportunities and rights. Here are some references which helped us to collect the data. Thank you everyone for your engagement in this critical conversation, and let's continue working together to create positive change. Bye.